Okay, chapter 18, A Bad Fall. This is a long one, so we'll probably have to do it in 2 parts. Calder and Petra talked about the book on the way to school the next morning. All these questions being asked by people around the world, Petra said, still excited by what she read. It does make the theft seem partly good. Remember we talked about, can something bad have good consequences? That's a thinker. Yeah, but what if the thief turns out to be not as moral as he sounds? What if he's a real sicko? Someone on the radio was talking about that this morning. Petra looked sideways at Calder. But don't you think I would sort of know if the lady had been hurt? They walked several steps in silence. Calder kicked at a snowball. Maybe, but maybe not. I wish she'd say something else to you, like down the street, up the steps, in the cupboard, and presto. They were both laughing when they turned the corner near Miss Sharp's house. To their horror, they found themselves facing the flashing lights of an ambulance. The children stood, open-mouthed, as a stretcher appeared at Miss Sharp's door. The old woman was neatly strapped in under a mound of blankets. She looked tiny and pale. 2 policemen followed the emergency technicians. "Miss Sharp, are you okay?" blurted Petra. Calder called out, "What happened?" At the sound of their voices, the old woman turned her head. "Oh, good. It's you 2. Close your mouths before your tongues freeze." Miss Sharp struggled to get her hand out from under the blanket. "Stop, you carriers. I want to speak with these children. I know them." Miss Sharp's imperious tone brought everyone to a standstill. "I slipped and cracked something in one leg. Very stupid of me, I must say. Never broken anything in my life. I was planning to take this letter to the post office today. I would have someone in the hospital mail it, but I would prefer giving it to you 2. "No problem," said Calder, reaching for the letter in Miss Sharp's hand. She watched with something of her old fierceness while Calder put away the letter. "Now don't forget, and don't lose it, boy," Miss Sharp was eyeing the duct tape on Calder's backpack. "The 2 of you can visit me in the hospital later if you'd like. I'm sure by then I'll be stuck in some dreadful room." "Don't worry, Miss Sharp. We'll mail your letter. Want us to bring you books or anything?" Petra asked. No. Oh, the pain of this darn leg. Stupid. Miss Sharp collapsed on the stretcher. "All set, ma'am?" said one of the EMTs, asked her politely. "Well, yes. Does it look like we're sunbathing on the Riviera here?" Miss Sharp's voice trailed off into the freezing air as she was loaded into the ambulance. They watched it drive away. Poor thing. I guess we won't be having tea with her anytime soon. I wonder who this letter's for. Calder reached into his backpack and pulled it out. It was addressed in a neat handwriting to Miss Isabel Hussey. Bum, 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 bum. What do you think's in the letter? Do you think they both got a letter from the thief? They're connected that way. I don't know. They held the letter up to the bright light at school. The envelope was impossible to see through. Giving it directly to Miss Hussey was tempting, but they had made a promise to Miss Sharp. It was hard to know who to be loyal to, or what the consequences of each decision might be. After school, they crunched through the snow into the post office on campus. "Maybe we could steam it open," Calder suggested. Have you ever seen that on TV, where you take a letter and you put it over steaming water and it opens it up without tearing it? I've never done it. "Maybe she's just sympathizing. Maybe we're just being suspicious," Petra said. "Hey, what if we rip open the envelope and then put the letter in a fresh one? We'll just rewrite the address." In their excitement, they stopped and gave each other a high five. Petra suddenly looked unhappy. "But aren't we getting pretty two-faced here? We go there for tea and we act like nice kids and then we betray her. How would we like it if someone we trusted read our mail? This is probably how people turn into criminals. They just do something a little bit wrong and then a little bit worse, and it's not like we won't mail it afterwards. We're keeping our promise. It's an emergency situation, remember? We're on a mission to rescue Miss Hussey." There's the picture. Take a look at it. We're not there in the book yet. All right. The lady, Miss Sharp, and ourselves, and we may be in danger too, now that we've got the third letter. So this is to protect everyone? Right, we're just going to do a little much-needed detective work. They were now inside, standing next to one of the slits in the wall that read, Stamped Mail. We could buy an envelope and readdress it here. Calder dug in his pockets for change. Petra looked worried. What will Miss Sharp do to us if she finds out? And what if Miss Hussey recognizes our handwriting? This is foolproof. We're going to put the letter in the mail the minute we've read it. Miss Sharp will never know, and I'm sure Miss Hussey will just throw the envelope away. Just then, someone jostled Calder's arm, and the letter fell. Calder reached for it. His backpack swung off his shoulder, knocking both him and Petra sideways. The letter was now underneath a man's leather boot. There's the picture. Frogs? Pentominos? Question mark? Ah, so sorry. This is the mail too. This is going in the mail too? The man then scooped the letter in a large red paw and stuffed it into the slit along with his mail. I don't believe it, hissed Calder. Petra gave Calder a weak smile. At least we've been saved from a life of crime. When they arrived at the hospital, Miss Sharp was lying flat in bed. One leg was heavily bandaged. Oh, hold on.